Shall never completely understand the Japanese mind, but then they don't understand ours either. Otherwise, there would never have been a Pearl Harbor. But we must try to understand Japan because we have become locked in the closest of all relationships.
Hey, it's Gimme a Flake Man here with Michael Q. Todd, all the way from Australia, right?
New Zealand.
Oh, I'm sorry. What an insult. Oh, Hikosaemon, you're probably pissed off about that. Good friend of Hikosaemon's here. He is fresh out of prison, right?
Yeah.
Is that true?
Prison and Immigration Detention Center, yeah.
And his name is Michael Q. Todd. What's the Q for?
Q's for Qi, like the Chinese energy, the Qi. Qi, it's in China, it's QI.
So you're part Chinese?
Qi. No, I went there in 1996 and I had bad arthritis and got it fixed up by the Qi Gong. So in recognition of that, I changed my name to...
There you go. So. There you go. And you can't forget Q because there's only one Q in the Scrabble board.
Yeah,
so
there's only one Michael Q. Todd in the world.
Only one Michael Q. Todd.
Yeah.
Big Twitter guru. Right? Is that
Guru, please. I don't know who gave you that word.
Sensei. Anyway, big on Twitter.
I spent a lot of time there, put it that way.
Okay. And he's actually become kind of famous or kind of infamous, depending on which side of the coin you are on, when it comes to dolphins and Taiji, right? Is it Taiji City?
Yeah, I kind of love those dolphins, yeah.
So who doesn't love dolphins? And did you see the recent clip of the American young 8-year-old girl who got bitten by the dolphin?
Not yet.
No, you got to see it. It's great. I think it's revenge for all the past injustices against dolphins. But anyway, without any further ado, I'd like to get to his story, which is a very unique story.
I was in a police holding cell at a police station in a small country town for 11 days.
Okay, 11 days.
And then Immigration Detention Center, which is not so bad a place to be, for 42 days in Osaka. Yeah. Okay,
Osaka. Okay.
So 53 days altogether.
53 days behind bars, and most importantly, without internet.
Or beer.
Or beer.
Or
Or ladies.
Exactly.
Or, well, one particular one.
My lady, yeah.
First of all, for those of you who don't know, Taiji is a very infamous city, made infamous by the movie The Cove, where they still they carry out the traditional art of hunting dolphins in Wakayama Prefecture, right?
I got the chance to go and help a Canadian film crew who are making a movie there, and my partner is completely bilingual in English and Japanese. Okay. So between the two of us, we're going to do some interpreting for them and also to help them because they couldn't get a car to drive around in because they couldn't get like the rental car and stuff like that.
Really?
So we were going to go down there.
So you facilitated the whole...
No, I didn't facilitate. I just got asked on about a Thursday to go and help them, and then I went down there on a Saturday to help them for 2 or 3 days.
So very sudden.
Yeah.
Whether we like it or not, we and the Japanese are going to be at very close range for a very long time. So let's see what kind of people these Japanese really are, what they believe in, what they want, and how they get it.
And how did you end up in jail? You were really drunk and...
No, I took, as I do, when I walk around, I got the iPhone out, taking some photos, and I took a photo of a sign saying, "Don't take photos of this public building," because I thought that was an interesting photo. And it had,
I think I remember that.
Had a police car in the back of the shot as well, which made it an even more interesting shot.
Right.
So this plainclothes policeman approached me and said, "Please don't take any photos around here." Plainclothes policeman approached me saying, "Please don't take any photos around here." So I said, "Well, it's a public place, so I pretty much do what I like, you know, with respect."
He said it in English or Japanese?
Japanese, I think. So then I went around the corner with my partner, and we went around the corner, and we were speaking to a couple of people there, Australian people who are taking photos of the dolphins. There have been about 60 dolphins killed that day. So.
Ooh, really?
There are a lot of dolphins. The boats were bringing in the dolphins into the slaughterhouse to, and we were taking photos of it. Basically, we're taking more photos. So I got approached by a plainclothes policeman and a uniformed policeman. Asked me for my credentials to be in Japan, and I had a card. There is a thing called an alien registration card, and They look like this, and
I'll cover my vitals here.
yeah,
They look like that.
There's two dates on the thing that you can see. There's one date up here, and there's another date down here. So there was a little bit of discussion about that, and it looks suspicious.
Oh,
and,
suspicious! Why?
And
Did you have green hair in the picture?
Well, I'd had my passport stolen, Victor, and so I needed to. I needed to get a new passport. So while I was doing that, I had made an application for an extension of the visa, which was still pending. So
but that doesn't show up on the card.
When it doesn't show up on the card, and it doesn't. When the police contacted the immigration office, the immigration office gave the police some bad information, and they didn't tell them that I'd made the application, basically. So it took a long time to sort that out.
Right. So that day, they took you to jail that day.
That day, I was arrested for not carrying an official travel document.
Wow.
Because I didn't have my passport with me because it
and that can happen
been stolen because I didn't have a passport.
Right. And that can happen to anyone if they don't have their Gaijin
card.
Well,
the big lesson is to make sure there's a new thing called a Zairyu card, which came out in early July. So anyone who's got a visa for longer than 30 days gets one of these Zairyu cards, so you've got to carry that around with you all the time. And to be extra safe, if you go into country areas, the police there, they never heard of these cards. They thought the law was that you had to carry a passport around.
Right. Oh, okay.
So
yeah, I saw that and I was confused because I don't carry my passport around at all.
Yeah, who wants to do that? Yeah. So anyway, that's what happened to me, and after that it happened, I was kept in the police holding cell for 11 days.
And what is that like? What is that? Is it just a room with a cot, or do you have a bed? What is it?
Yeah, it's a tatami floor room, and there was no one in there to talk to.
Futon?
Futon between 8 o'clock at night and 6 in the morning, and 3 meals a day, and no reading material, no writing material, no phone calls, no phone calls in or out.
So it's boring as hell.
No phone calls in or out. My partner came down from Yokohama. She did an 8-hour each way trip to come and visit me, and I was allowed a 15-minute meeting with her in Japanese.
Oh, it has to be in Japanese.
It has to be in Japanese.
Oh my
god!
How was your Japanese?
It got better when I was there because I was talking to the police in Japanese all the time. So my Japanese is okay. I've been here on and off for about 20 years.
Okay.
Not as good as yours, but not.
Well, mine it can always get better.
Yeah. I can make myself.
I don't want to go to jail for it.
I can order a beer, you know.
So let me make sure I understand. You were in a one room tatami mat.
Yeah.
11 days.
Completely unnecessarily. I should have been transferred to the immigration centre on the first day because it was an immigration issue. But I got a bit of history.
No phone calls. So all you can do is talk to the police.
I got a little bit of history, probably on Interbol and stuff like that, for a little bit of environmental in inverted commas activism back from the 90s.
But you were allowed to talk to the police.
So I don't know whether that was responsible for it or not, because I got asked a lot of questions about.
I'm sorry, you lost me there. What happened with the?
I got asked a lot of questions about why I was in there in Taiji that day and that kind of stuff, or whether I was in certain environmental.
They suspected you were Greenpeace or the Sea Shepherd or something, right?
Yeah, or even worse, the Blackfish. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. So before let's just do a timeout here to back up a little bit. How do you feel about the whole Taiji? Just to make sure it's clear to everybody, the whole hunting dolphins in Taiji.
And I've been aware of this thing for about going on 30 years now. That the dolphins are being captured and killed by the Japanese fishermen in Taiji. Dolphins are sentient beings. They love us, and they're capable of loving each other, and they're capable of having thoughts, and they're capable of remembering things. So they're at a higher level of understanding about what's going on, and communication and sensitivity and even spirituality than any other sea mammals. And probably other, apart from us, maybe on the planet, that they're pretty much sentient beings, right? So it seems ridiculous that we want to kill them. To me. So, or to capture them and keep them in captivity. So I just don't understand why, and this should be fixed.
Well, what do you say to people who would say, well, other animals are sentient beings, and what about dogs? And
yeah, but we don't do that to dogs. Someone treats the dogs like they're treating the dolphins. You'd be in trouble a lot, real fast, right?
So what about horses and cows? And what's the difference between? How would you argue to the people who say it's the same thing? It's just a different animal.
you could go talking around in circles with this, but dolphins are special. Dolphins...
I can't pretend that cows are smarter than dolphins, so yeah, you got me there.
It's not a case of being smart, it's a case of being sentient and being capable of feelings, basically. And they have families and they love each other and care for each other and remember each other just like we do. So, yeah.
Well, you're right. We can go around in circles in this, but I will agree with you on one point in that it is definitely not good for Japan, regardless of the reason, right? Because it's internationally, as we were talking about this a few minutes ago, right? Internationally, it just does nothing for Japan's reputation.
Yeah, and one of the reasons that I went down there was, as well as wanting to help these people with what they're doing and making a documentary that was going to be shown on TV in Canada, to get the word out about what was happening there. I'd been down there once before, but I'd never been down there in the hunting season.
Yeah, wow.
And I wanted to learn a bit more. I wanted to talk to some local people down there and find out what their thoughts were and thinking was, because I believe that I've got a network of people around the world and I want to learn more so that, I don't know, like be some kind of a bridge between what the people there are feeling about the whole thing and what people outside are thinking the whole thing. So I, like you, I love Japan and I want the best for Japan.
Right.
And Japan's reputation is being hammered over what is like a fairly small thing.
Yeah. How many people actually make a living off this?
Not more than 100.
Wow, that's tiny. So I don't know if it's worth it.
Yeah.
I agree with you on that point.
It's maybe at the most $30 or $40 million a year industry.
Sounds like a lot of money, but I guess
it's a lot of money to a small town like that. But in the big picture, it's not much. And it's something that the rest of the world, a lot of people feel very strongly about, and that it's not really doing Japan much good. And a lot of people, and it's causing a lot of Japan bashing and a lot of cultural suspicion.
I completely agree with it, but a lot of that bashing was completely undeserved. Like when March 11th, the earthquake hit on March 11th, I saw a lot of posts about people saying this is karma for Japan eating dolphins, which really pissed me off.
Yeah,
you know, because this is nothing. I mean, the earthquake and 14,000 Japanese dying or 20,000, whatever it was. You know, that has nothing to do with dolphins being killed. You know, but people use it as an excuse. People use the dolphin issue to bash Japan with. I just don't think it's worth it. But
well, Japan's got history, hasn't it? So you know.
But it's not really a tradition.
We grew up like we grew up reading war comics with Japs, Japs, and that, right?
Stop the Japs.
So of our generation, right? So there are people of our generation that haven't forgotten about that sort of indoctrination.
I know people back in the States who won't buy Mitsubishi because they made the Zero Bomber engines. So
it's been a while, hasn't it? It's been a while since that. So there's a lot of beautiful things about Japan that are not getting out because of this prejudice that's going on, and it just seems like low-hanging fruit to fix this problem up if there's a bit more cross-cultural understanding. Like, why are these dolphins getting killed? What's the history of it? What's the cultural history of it? What's the economic...
How old is this practice?
The money is made from the capture of the dolphins and the dolphins being sent to aquariums around the world.
Like in other Asian countries as well, right?
Depending on how much training they've had, they go for anything from about $20,000 up to over $100,000. Wow. For a young female, very cute, very highly trained, very intelligent dolphin will sell for more than $100,000 to SeaWorld Aquarium in Florida or something.
Really?
Or
SeaWorld buys from Taiji?
Yeah, Taiji is practically the only place that...
I thought Chinese are Hong Kong or Singapore.
Taiji is practically the only live dolphin capture place still going on in the world. I
didn't know that.
American Samoa are doing it a little bit. But apart from that, this is the only place that people can source them from.
But how long has the hunting of dolphins?
So the money comes from that. The money doesn't come from the dolphins being killed for food.
How many years ago
have they been doing this? The live capture for money. 20 years, 25 years.
Live capture money 20. Oh, so
ever since they worked out how to transport dolphins on aeroplanes, which was only about 30 years ago.
Oh, okay. So before that, it was just hunting.
Yeah, and before that, other places were, but the aquariums weren't so popular either.
Right, I see. Okay. So the main money is in the capture, not the actual meat.
Oh, all the money's in the capture.
I see.
There are not many people eat the things.
Right. You know?
Like, even the people that live in those towns
Yeah.
don't eat them.
I've only seen it once in Nagoya. Only once in one supermarket, just one day, and the next day it's
Dolphin.
gone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Iruka, they said.
Well, even when I went around the town of Katsura, which is the nearest town to where it's happening, there was only one izakaya on the menu, out of about 50 izakayas in the town that were actually selling dolphin. And when I asked the people, the police that I was in, I had a lot of chance to talk to in the cell and everything like this. Have you ever eaten dolphin? Nah.
Yeah, most people have never eaten dolphin. Older people have eaten whale once or twice. When they were kids.
Yeah, in that area they're eating a bit of whale and they're eating a lot of tuna, but dolphin.
Okay. So what do you think about Greenpeace, Sea Shepherd, and this other one, Blackfish? I've never heard of that one.
The Blackfish.org, they're suspicious that I was a member of that.
What is Blackfish? I've never heard of it.
It's a radical.
They're more radical than Sea Shepherd.
Much more radical.
So what do they do? Like what are the practices?
They've been responsible for cutting the nets where the dolphins are being held overnight.
So they break the law.
A couple of years ago. Yeah, they're prepared to break the law.
Okay. So they're fanatics.
Yeah. So they were suspicious that I was a member of this kind of group.
Okay. What about Sea Shepherd?
Which I'm not.
Okay. You got that? And he's not. What about Sea Shepherd?
Sea Shepherd, they'll push the law to the limits.
You're okay with them?
Not necessarily okay with all their methods, but I like where they're coming from, but I don't agree with their methods.
Okay. But Greenpeace, you're okay then?
Greenpeace I like.
Okay. All right. Greenpeace seems to have a pretty good reputation.
And but there seems to be a lot of misunderstanding going with these foreigners in Japan. So there's people like you and I that love Japan, but also can put our minds in the people that are outside Japan looking in. Maybe we can help to fix this up.
A lot of people assume I'm instantly against them because of the whale issue. Sometimes when the whale issue comes up, but I am against whale hunting and dolphin hunting, but actually not for the same reason that most people are. Yeah. I think it's an economically bad decision in the long run. It just hurts Japan's reputation.
Well, yeah.
So let's get back to your experience. So you were transferred after 11 days to the immigration center.
Yeah.
Which is not that bad from what it sounds like.
Immigration center's not that bad.
See, these guys are imagining
you got TV.
You're getting raped. You're getting shanked. What's happening? Clear the air here.
You got TV. Quite a few different TV channels from 7 till 10 at night,
wow.
And you've got
how many people to a room and how big is a room? Things like that.
6 bunk beds in a room. So,
6 people in a room?
No, not necessarily. Usually about half full.
So not full. Not like a Tokyo subway then.
And you get fed reasonably well with a kind of like a box lunch with a bit of variety of food 3 times a day, and you're allowed to go to exercise place twice
a day?
Depends on the day and depends on the weather, but yeah, it's generally not so bad.
But it's nothing like American prisons where
it's nothing like any kind of prison. There's no rules that are strictly enforced or anything like that. Or it's not a punishment place. It's just a holding place for people. And they can hold you there for a maximum of 60 days. Yeah.
And how long were you there?
I was in there for 42 days.
42 days. Again, with no internet?
No internet.
How about visitors? Did you have any visitors?
You can have visitors, as many as you like a day for half an hour each time.
Oh, really? As many as you like a day?
Well, as many as there's 5 hours of visitors can come. So you could potentially have 10 visitors a day.
Wow. So it's not that bad at all.
They can't bring you any food or anything. They can bring you reading material.
No cakes with knives in them or saws in them, right? Nothing like that.
But generally, the place is pretty loose. No electronic devices and
magazines. Okay, books. Okay,
everything like that's fine.
Oh, really? It wasn't that bad. It wasn't.
It was very interesting. There's a lot of guys from a lot of different countries there. There was about 30 or 40 guys there at any one time. So over the 40 days,
wow.
I probably met about 150 different guys.
And you said Tokyo was even bigger. You and the Osaka one, right?
Yeah, the Tokyo one's 2 or 3 times as big.
Wow. Have you been to the Tokyo one?
No, I don't want to go there.
You just heard about it?
Yeah, I just...
How did you hear about it? Other prisoners told you?
Yeah.
So other prisoners have been there?
And since I've been in there, I've talked on a few forums and things like that.
So, for example, what nationalities did you meet? Just to name a few.
Well,
the more interesting ones.
The main people that are being held are Iranians and Chinese.
Really?
Yeah.
Iranians and Chinese, huh?
Yeah.
For any number of different reasons?
Any number of different reasons.
Okay.
So, yeah.
What's the most exotic nationality that you met when you were in there?
There was a guy I was in a room with who was Nigerian.
Mm-hmm.
So it's quite interesting to it's interesting. You get interesting insight into their cultures, all different people. There's Thai guys, Colombia, Peru, Tunisia.
Peru, I'm not surprised.
South.
My parents are from Peru. I'm from Peru, actually.
Sure. South Korea.
Any North Koreans?
No, North Koreans. You've got Chile, Canada, America, Australia.
Lots of Australians, I bet, right?
No, only one or two. So there's a wide variety of people in there for sure.
Any Canadians?
This kind of thing. So.
Okay, so you made some friends, and you started writing a book.
Yeah, I'm gonna put out a book about the.
How far along are you on that?
Oh, pretty far along. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Do you have a title for the book yet, in case some viewers are interested?
I'm just interested in the way that nationalism seems to be increasing in the world. So I'm just having a few views about that and these guys' experiences, what's going on in their countries and the countries around them, and why they decided to try to get out of their country to try to come to Japan, or what their experience has been as a foreigner in Japan or as a foreigner in other countries. Yeah,
right. Hikosaemon and I are going to have Michael Q. Todd on our 2.5 Oyajis, either before or after this video comes out. I'm not sure how it's going to work.
So I'm only half an Oyaji?
You're the half an Oyaji, yes. That's a gift. We're the two Oyajis. Is there anything else that you'd like to tell the viewers, or?
Not so much, I guess. We'll leave it for your show.
Definitely check out the show.
And we might do that by Christmas or something.
Oh yeah, before this year is up, before the 2012 or 2012 is up, we'll definitely have him on the show.
Thank you, Hikosaemon, if you're watching.
I'm sure he's watching, and we're going to leave it to you guys to supply more questions on this video, which we will actually ask him in the show, in the live show. So please leave any questions you have below, specifics about either anything you want.
I'll check out the video twice a week.
And he is a monster on Twitter, so if you're interested in Twitter or expanding your Twitter portfolio, you should definitely be following him, Michael Q. Todd, on Twitter.
Oh, thank you very much.
Right?
MQ Todd. MQ Todd.
Oh, MQ Todd. I'm sorry, MQ Todd. And also he's got a YouTube, so we will supply links in the description. So please check those out as well. Thanks for watching, everyone.
Thank you.
Peace.
Give him a break because he sure deserves one. And when he's back from his break, you'll see his parts made in Japan. He is the modern man. So give him a break.
Rate, comment, and subscribe! Ah!